Hello friends, welcome back to Sack's Garage. I am Sack and this is my garage. Today we are back working on the Turbo Ranger build. Got the shop, or I should say the garage is not a shop, all cleaned up. Got some cardboard for our workspace today. Got our good shop dog Holly hanging out. Yes, who's a good girl? Yeah. Alright. Today we have some stage 2 exidy clutches and frictions, as well as a TSS intermediate shaft going in our 6R80. This has been sitting in the corner now for almost 2 years while we've been working on the chassis and suspension. Time to actually start getting some upgrades for the power here for the drivetrain. So, goal for today, we're gonna get that disconnected from the engine, we're gonna disassemble it, and we're gonna try to get it reassembled all in one day. So, let's get started. All right, pan is off. That fluid looks a little bit burnt. It's gone through quite a bit of trans brake testing, trying to get tunes and stuff right, so it looks pretty dark. And then over here looking at the pan, you can see that it's pretty black down in the bottom. That doesn't look good. And then the magnet over here has some sludge and stuff on it. So I suspect that our steels are probably shot, and I don't know what the rest is, maybe friction material, but I don't know if you can see on the edge there, right here, you can actually see all the little lines of ferrous material against the magnet there. So definitely some stuff that's not happy. Granted, this transmission has 105,000 miles on it, and it's seen some abuse, so we're gonna keep tearing into it and see what we find. All right, first set of frictions and steels. They look not bad. Honestly, I don't think they... this side's a little bit darker. Okay. These are a little bit darker, but no obvious wear as far as like metal shavings and whatnot go. So our hunt continues for what was in the oil pan. Alright, these are out of the first planetary gear. This top ring here is what was on... that looks like a shim. This shim is super burnt. That was what was in the bottom of the tray. You can see here on this steel, got some burning, and then all of these are really dark. So this is probably one of the planetaries, or one of the gears that gets engaged with the trans brake. You can see all those are really dark. You can even see here the friction material that engages versus the little teeth just for alignment are a much different color. Flip it over. Same story here. Very burnt. I don't see any obvious wear of metal grinding, but there's definitely burnt clutch friction material in there, so let's keep going. Next drum, same thing, got this really thick plate here, and then you can see lots of heat in this one. You can see that these clutches are all burned really bad. That steel's burned really bad. A little bit of wear on that. And then this back steel is really burned. Flip them over. Same thing, lots of heat all throughout this. This is definitely not a good set there. And then you can see right here, this is the drum it came from. There was a lot of heat right here in this shaft. Doesn't appear damaged or worn. It looks like it just got hot. It looks like that's right about where the oil passage is. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a hole right in the bottom. There you go. You can see it in the reflection. That lines up exactly with where this hot is here. And then these little seals don't know if you can see in the camera there, but they're really speckled, so it looks like those got heat damaged as well. On to the next one. The mid-support snap ring is a pain in the butt to get out, but we finally got it. This is definitely where that material is getting all messed up. You can see here that this is super black, probably a little ferrous. You can see that all these clutches are super burned, and there's some wear on the steels. Got a shim here in the bottom, and then pretty much same story all the way across. So looks like the back half of the trans is where all that heat is hanging out. We're gonna keep tearing down. All right, this is the rear drum. This top steel is super burnt. All these are super burnt. And then we flip over, all burnt again. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. So the big piece of steel back here, you can see every single tooth has gouges on either side from something banging around in there. I haven't found anything definitive on what it is banging around. It probably just got ground up, but I don't know how this got all of this because it sits squarely in a channel. So that's not good. All right, the inner gears that are kind of like inside the planetary, you can see there's 3 channels there. 1, 2, 3. I don't think that's how they're supposed to look. I'm gonna have to look though. 1, 2, 3, all the way around that one. And then the one that sits on, same thing. You got, except it's only 1 gouge all the way around that whole thing. Looking at the planetary itself, I'm inspecting it here, and it looks pretty good inside actually. I'm not seeing any obvious damage in here. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go through all these parts one more time with really carefully and see if I can find anything that's obviously damaged or missing. We'll be right back. All right, so good news. It turns out that those grooves are actually supposed to be in those gears. I just looked it up. I am gonna replace this because that is clearly not supposed to be doing that. Let me see if you guys can actually get a focus on here. It's almost like this is a cast piece and the heat is starting to like spall it. You can see there on each tooth. It's not looking great. So I'm gonna reorder one of those. It's about 20 bucks. Just went through all these pieces. Everything looks good. As far as, you know, wear and tear, whatnot. What we are going to do though is we're going to turn to the oil pump. As you can see, got some heat showing under there. Make sure that's all good, and then we're going to open up the valve body, make sure that's all good, see if we can figure out where that metal came from, or if it's just from the steel plates rubbing together, but those are getting replaced. So, back to it. All right, oil pump was good, everything inside was good, valve body, everything inside the valve body was good. All we have to do is replace that very last steel clutch there, friction plate, whatever they call it. It's 20 bucks online, and then about 20 bucks for a new oil filter, and then we'll be ready for disassembly hopefully next weekend. So we're going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Zach's Garage. We'll see you next time.